NFL news and rumors coming at you here on NFL Daily. I'm Mitchell Renz. That's Tom Downey. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing because you're going to be missing the latest NFL news and rumors. And maybe you live underneath a rock. Maybe you didn't see this. Cam Newton, he is now a member of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, a little surprised on the timing there. I have a conspiracy theory as to why coming up later on in the show, but Newton has agreed to a deal with New England worth up to $7.5 million, which means the actual cap hit will almost assuredly be less than that. They'll make it heavily incentivized, and those incentives, because he really played last year, are going to be unlikely to be, which means they won't count against the cap this year, potentially on next year's cap.
What about the report that Newton hasn't been guaranteed the starting job in New England? What are your thoughts on that? Because
I totally buy it.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what the contract says.
Okay.
Like that 1 year, even if he gets all of it, $7.5 million, that's not a contract of a given to a player who you are now our starting quarterback. And if the Patriots were committed to making Newton their starter, they would have signed him, back in March or in April or in May and not basically wait until July. I think Newton picked the Patriots over, frankly, little interest elsewhere. I know the Browns called him, that was about it. He picked the Patriots because they offered him a chance to start.
Yes.
That's why he's in New England. It's not about the money. It's about Newton is playing the long game here. He wants to win this job, become a starter, get the bag next offseason.
Obviously, he is going to, and I'm going to put this in quotes, compete with Jarrett Stidham because the one thing that the Patriots have said is they are very confident in Stidham, who they drafted in the 4th round back in 2019. But I think the real question here is, who's going to end up starting? If you think it's Cam Newton type CN, and judging by the live comments, a lot of CNs are coming
Slandering BH Brian Hoyer, by the
way. That's also very true. Or we want you to type JS for Jarrett Stidham. So when Tom and I really thought about the depth chart here, I do think it's Cam Newton's job to lose.
I
and
agree.
I think the only way he doesn't win this job is if either he's just not healthy. I think that's actually the only way he doesn't win this job.
Or if the injuries have compiled to a point where he's not the same guy in camp and in the preseason and all of that. But I agree with the commenters. I think CN is the answer here. I know it's not guaranteed, and I know that the reports the Patriots still like Stidham. If they were immensely confident in Stidham, they wouldn't have signed Cam Newton. If they were immensely confident in Cam Newton, they probably would have signed him a little earlier. So I think there will be a competition, but I think Newton wins that job because he can still be Cam Newton.
And I think even if he's not 100% Cam Newton, I still think a not 100% Cam Newton is going to be better than Jarrett Stidham. Call me crazy. I'm going to also type my CN. So Cam Newton went to the Patriots, and you wouldn't know that, maybe because you're not subscribed to our channel. So stay up to date on the latest NFL news, rumors. Also, Tom and I do shows like the top remaining free agents, so stay tuned. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, or it'll also be in the comments section. It'll be in the description. If you can't find the big red button, click the link and never miss anything. So I have a little bit more to talk about. Are the Patriots actually legitimate with Cam Newton? So I saw Dan Orlovsky. I saw Stephen A. Smith. I'm seeing it all over YouTube, Facebook. It doesn't matter. That now apparently the Patriots are one of the best teams in the AFC with Cam Newton at quarterback.
Where did we have them with Stidham at the helm?
I didn't think they were a good team at all.
They were 6 or 7, right?
Where, in the AFC?
No, in terms of wins.
Oh, okay, yes.
6 or 7 wins, right?
Yes, that's where I was at.
Is Cam Newton worth at least 3 wins compared to Stidham?
Does that still make you one of the best teams in the AFC?
That puts you at 10 wins, and that puts you in the playoffs, which I think, yes, it does not put them in the Chiefs-Ravens category, but I think it puts them in that second tier.
See,
Newton is the guy
when I listened to Dan Orlovsky, he said that they are now a top 3 team, and that for me was a little bit of a stretch.
I think there's 1, 2,
Are they even the best team in their division?
I think they're in the same tier as the Bills now.
The same tier as the Bills.
And if there's of course the big if here that Newton wins the job, or whoever the quarterback is the guy we think that they can end up being. So I think with the Patriots, that defense is still going to be great. They're going to need to run the football heavily. I think they'll give, if Newton starts, maybe 5 carries a game in particularly high leverage situations. I think they can win 9 or 10 games, and that might be enough to put them either at the top of the AFC East or in the postseason.
I think, though, the question, you just said was 6, 7 wins. Obviously, we want you guys right now to go ahead and predict the Patriots' record because it's a tough thing for me, at least, to wrap my brain around because there's so many variables where it wouldn't surprise me if the Pats ended the season, honestly, 5, 6 wins.
If Newton gets hurt instead of sucks.
Sure, but if he's great, maybe
11 or 12.
Yeah.
So I think the variability for this Patriots team has drastically changed as a result of Cam Newton, which makes sense given the past 2 years from Newton have been high variance years. So I think there's kind of a little bit of a center here around 10-6 to 7-9 seems to be most of the votes.
Yep.
That feels like a pretty realistic range for them.
8-8.
It's just a giant if around Cam Newton and what he looks like this season.
I totally agree. What he looks like, is he going to be legit? Something that looks great and is also legit, these 4th of July sweatshirts, T-shirts. We got all sorts of gear here around your favorite team. If you want to rep your favorite team on 4th of July, 2 things. 1, look at the link below. Also, you need to buy these right now because 4th of July is literally just a few days away. Go to chatsports.com/NFL4th, where if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're just trying to get your favorite team shirt to be able to rep on the holiday, we got you covered. It will be in the comments. It will be in the description. Also, though, if you maybe, don't want to wear it on 4th of July, you can also wear it all year round.
Because America.
Because America. Bingo. That greatest country in the world. If you don't think so, don't like the video. If you do think it's the greatest country in the world, like the video. So, I was pretty surprised when I saw some MVP odds come out around it. Like, I get it. The hype's there. We're also kind of in the off season a little bit. We don't have sports, and I think sometimes you see people really trying to figure out what to talk about. So I saw Cam Newton MVP odds come out. Before I get to his odds, I do want to roll you through some of the latest odds and who has the best chance of winning the 2020 NFL MVP. If you want to put in the comments who you think is going to win the MVP, that's always appreciated as well. Mahomes, Wilson, Jackson, no surprise there. I actually did find it a little bit surprising that Dak was at number 4.
We've talked about it on the show before.
Yes, I mean, obviously, Cowboys and stats are going to be in favor of Dak.
Yeah, they're going to inflate him.
Drew Brees at plus 1,600, who doesn't have one. Now, here's where we get to Cam Newton. So Tom Brady's at plus 1,600, but the very last name there, he was tied with Aaron Rodgers, and he was tied with Kyler Murray at plus 2,500. Better odds than a quarterback like Baker Mayfield, who, oddly enough, apparently apparently the Browns at least contacted Cam.
I think they were looking about that Case Keenum role for him. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah.
It's maybe an intriguing bet because of the high variance, but I don't feel confident in that bet at all.
No? Okay.
I just don't.
Well, how about this, Tom? Who's going to have the better 2020 season? Because you know that Cam Newton and Tom Brady, they're going to get compared now almost every single week. And honestly, I'm okay with it. So maybe you guys can help us settle a debate here. Type CN for Cam Newton, or if you think Tom Brady and the New England Patriots are going to have a better season, I want you to type TB. Speaking of the Patriots, we're doing a lot of Patriots talking, and believe it or not, this might surprise you. They cheat again. They got caught. This time fined $1.1 million.
And this is barely a conspiracy theory. I'm just going to treat this as headcanon. The Patriots timed up the announcement/release of the Cam Newton signing to match up with the news that they got hit again for cheating.
Conspiracy theories report with Tom Down.
It's barely. First off, love a good conspiracy theory.
I know.
I am fully convinced this timing was absolutely intentional because we're all talking about Cam Newton, not the Patriots getting hit with another cheating incident. $1.1 million fine is the largest in NFL history, and a 2021 third-round draft pick for filming the Bengals when they were playing the Browns last season. Which, why would they film the Bengals? Because it was a dry run and a practice run, you guys.
I think everyone knows what to do with this question I'm about to show here. Okay, even if Patriots fans don't type Y for yes, you're lying to yourself. Because let's be real. I think, how many times have we seen this now? The Patriots are clearly cheaters. It's okay. Clearly.
They cheat.
But
they've
why
won,
is it okay?
and it's because this is just how we allow it. As long as you win, the saying is the cheaters never win, which is wrong because clearly the Patriots have. It's clearly a yes. I don't see any no's in the comments, so glad we're all being correct today.
You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I saw this ESPN trade idea, and I want you to scroll on down and let us know. Who wins this trade? Type S for the Seahawks, type E for the Eagles. So Sidney Jones goes to Seattle. The Eagles, they receive Ethan Pocic.
The very rare player-for-player trade idea. I like this one for Seattle. I don't like the depth for that Seahawks secondary, especially with uncertainty around Quentin Dunbar.
Absolutely.
Both of these players fit a similar mold. I think both were second-round picks who haven't lived up to expectations. But I like the fit for Jones in Seattle. Field Yates puts together. I think he's right. He fits what they want to do. It would be a homecoming of sorts for the Washington Huskies product. Maybe it doesn't start. Ethan Posic's not starting for Seattle. So from the Seattle side, I like it. I think it makes some sense.
He also fits exactly what Seattle. Now, a lot of times when Seattle drafts players or finds a guy in free agency, they want somebody long, lanky, and a great athlete. And I do think that's what Sidney Jones has.
Achilles tear, he absolutely
Sure.
was. And is he any substantially worse than Trey Flowers? I don't really think so. So with the uncertainty around Dunbar, I think from a cornerback perspective, I like it for Seattle. And I'd be down to give Ethan Pocic because, well, he hasn't done anything really yet. And I don't think he starts this year either.
That's why they call you What Going Downy. So the second part of that trade, Pocic to Philly, which, again, this is a trade drafted up by Field Yates in an article that he wrote that basically was like trades that make sense for both sides. Philly needs an offensive guard more than they need Sidney Jones. As soon as they went out and got Nicole Roby-Coleman, you obviously traded for, Darius Slay. So I think they have some depth there. You need a guard because Brandon Brooks goes down. I actually think this trade for both sides does make sense.
I'm not convinced that the Eagles actually say yes because I'm not sure Pocic is that highly regarded amongst the NFL teams. And I think there's still some hope for Sidney Jones. Maybe it could even be Rasul Douglas instead, as at least one alternative option here. But I do like it quite a bit for Seattle, Mitch, to add some more cornerback depth.
If you're a Seahawks fan, you can see the link below, chatsports.com/SeahawksTV. It's our Seahawks-only channel, so if you're a member of the 12s, go check it out and subscribe. Speaking of the Seahawks, we got these awesome 4th of July t-shirts for your team. Go to chatsports.com/NFL4th, but it's more than just Seahawks. We have Eagles as well. We have all 32 teams, t-shirts, sweatshirts, men's, women's, all sorts of gear for you, long sleeve t-shirts as well. And personally, the Cowboys one, I hate to admit it,
it's a good one.
I do actually kind of like it. My personal favorites are the ones with the team logo and the state in the background.
I like that too.
The Minnesota Vikings have a great one as well. If you want to be able to go and get one of these t-shirts, do it fast because 4th of July is right around the corner. It is in the comment section. Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, Jadeveon Clowney, I talked about it a little bit on my NFL News and Rumor show on Friday. Apparently, Clowney would be interested in playing for Dallas. Dallas is like, nah.
Well, the source is for starters because this is the same source who said Cowboys looking to make a splash in the draft, which happens every single year. Also has linked Clowney so far to the Saints, the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Dolphins so far. So kind of at 0 for 4 at that point. But the Cowboys and Clowney have been linked before. Yep. The Cowboys are not going to pay the price tag for Clowney. Clearly, no one has right now, right? Like, true. The Cowboys would be interested if Clowney dropped his price tag significantly. That has not happened so far. But you're right. A lot of teams, I think, would be interested at that point. But coming off a down season, the Cowboys are going to try and gamble on some combination of Tyrone Crawford, Aldon Smith, Dorrance Armstrong, Randy Gregory, plus some other guys. If the price could come down to like 10-ish, 8-ish, I think the Cowboys might be interested. I don't think that's what the cost is at right now for Clowney. So if it drops significantly, yeah, the Cowboys are going to end up getting involved. They could cut Tyrone Crawford and put Clowney on that team. I'd be all for that.
Yep.
They just simply haven't shown interest so far.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying overrated, that nobody's going to go out and sign him. I don't think that happens. I do think he is one of the top free agents on the market. So go ahead, let us know, because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be a team. If I had to guess what teams are the best fits for Clowney, for me, it comes down to these 5 teams. I got the Seattle Seahawks, Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans, Eagles, and the Baltimore Ravens. Tom, would you throw in another team, or do you think that list looks pretty good?
I think the top 3 there, Seahawks, Browns, Titans, unless something changes, makes the most sense to me.
If you guys disagree with us, you know what to do. Get active in the comments section. So before we get out of here on our NFL News and Rumors show, I do want to give you a little bit of an update here on some COVID-19 impact. So the NFLPA is going to require agents to advise players on the risks of the Big C. They're also going to kind of take a wait-and-see approach to see, I think, how the NBA and MLB also handle it, which I do think is a smart thing, and I think the NFL is luckily
kind of what you have to do.
Sure. I mean, the NFL's lucky that they can almost make NBA and MLB the guinea pig here, but
NFL got lucky with the timing, at least so far.
I think ultimately what it comes down to is make sure players know all the risks, make sure they also know all their health going into the season, and hopefully everything's all good to go.